sometimes you can go too deep into the problem and thinking about things. But one chap wrote and said, what about the crank sensor? Is that working? And I thought to myself, but I put a new one in 2 years ago. When we put the engine in, put a new crank sensor in. But how do you test for a crank sensor? I'll show you. Right, observe the rev counter. Well, that was interesting, wasn't it? The needle's not moving on the rev counter. That's a sure sign that the crank sensor's not working. You see, the crank sensor's a really important piece of kit on these electronic engines. It hasn't got a distributor, so the engine doesn't know actually where it is until it spins round. And on the back of the, the flex plate or flywheel, there's what's called a reluctor ring. And the reluctor ring is made up of a series of little teeth, or in some cases little holes in the back of the flywheel, minus 3 teeth. So that means that when the engine's being cranked, there'll be a difference in the pulse from your crank sensor, and that's when the engine knows where it is. And that's why when you have EFI cars like this one, it won't start like a petrol engine with carbs. It won't go boom straight away. No. What it does is it has to go over twice to find out in relationship to actually where it is. Once it's found that out, it'll turn the computer on. I forgot all about it. My bad. But that's a little test to see if it's working. And they're renowned for going on these cars. And that's the worst part, because I only changed the bloody thing 2 years ago when I was doing the engine. Man, oh man, was that annoying. So, but like I say, £285 for a genuine one, which would be a Lucas one. Or I think it's about 40 quid for a Lucas one. Mate, it's a no-brainer. I'm going to tell him to get 2 so that he can... so you can keep one in the glove box, just in case, because any mechanic can change it. But that's a sure sign that it's not working. So let's eliminate the cheapest problem. You do the cheapest problem first before we start diving into ECUs, because now it all makes sense. So many thanks to all the comments. I think we're back on the road. But today, Monday, isn't it? I need to get this car out so I can get my test bench out to test an LT230 that's supposed to be making noise. And before I strip it down, I want to fill it full of oil and shove it on here and see what that noise actually is. I'll still strip it down anyway, but it might be some fun. And anyway, I can't do with this bloody thing in here all the time, so I'm going to tow it outside and leave it. But we're going to tidy up all my toys first. See ya.